This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com, featuring Anabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
If you're shopping while working, eating, or even listening to this podcast, then you know and love the thrill of a deal. But are you getting the deal and cash back? Rakuten shoppers do. They get the brands they love, savings, and cash back. And you can get it too. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores like Levi's, Plow & Hearth, Adidas, Sephora, and Neiman Marcus. Stack sales on top of cash back and feel what it's like to know you're maximizing the savings. And it's easy to use. And you get your cash back sent to you through PayPal or check. The idea is simple. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cash back. Download the free Rakuten app or go to Rakuten.com to start saving today. It's the most rewarding way to shop. That's Rakuten. Rakuten.com.
It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. KFI AM is 640. It is the Conway Show. All right. Ding dong. We continue here on Wednesday, hump day. Beautiful, beautiful weather outside. This is why we all live here. This is why we put up with all the crap that LA throws at you. Whether it's the strike downtown, whether it's the home invasions, the homelessness, the fires, the floods, the filth, the dangerous buses in the metro. Is that enough? Is that enough?
Never.
Yeah, is that enough? That's why we live here, is because of the weather. If it wasn't for great weather, why would any of us live here? Why would we live here? If it snowed 4 or 5 months a year, nobody would live here. It would just be a ghost town. But we live here because of that sun and that weather. It's beautiful outside, so try to slide out there if you're stuck in an office somewhere. All right, Alex Stone from ABC News is with us. Alex, how you, bub?
Doing well. Ding dong. How are you?
Ding dong with you.
Ding dong.
We got a sad story to begin with, huh?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and it got worse today because Jeff Sperbeck, a good friend of John.Elway.
And a great guy. Everyone says one of the greatest guys ever met.
Yeah, good sports agent, good business partner. Yeah, they went in, he and John.Elway, into the wine industry together and restaurants, the Elway restaurants in Colorado. And so they were buddy-buddy, but he died today from injuries that he got on Saturday evening in La Quinta when John.Elway, it appears, by all accounts, was driving a golf cart in the super exclusive Madison Club near the Stagecoach Festival, and that they were riding along, and that something caused Sperbeck to fall out and fall off of that golf cart. And TMZ says he hit his head. The Riverside County Sheriff's Office, which has not been all that forthcoming with information on fatal accident, where normally they would be, tells us that they're investigating, but they won't say anything more, and except that they got called on Monday afternoon. This happened on Saturday night. Medics responded, fire responded, but it didn't become an investigation, law enforcement-wise, until Monday when they got involved. But so not a lot of people saw it. There was a small group there. Allie Simon was among them. She saw the immediate aftermath, and she's telling us this.
It was so sad, and our hearts just go out to the families. But we were heading out of the community, and we pulled up, and it had to have happened probably 1 minute before us pulling up.
And she says, Tim, it was clear right away that Sperbeck was badly hurt, that he had gone down, that he was in bad shape.
He was unfortunately lying on the ground, and there were people surrounding him, just trying to make sure he was okay. And people were on the phone, just trying to get help there as soon as they possibly could. It was so scary. I mean, it was nothing like we've ever seen. You just don't think you're going to ever witness anything like that. But his wife was like hysterical.
And she says that Elway was standing there desperately calling 911 for help to get medics there. But he was reportedly, Sperbeck, on life support at the only trauma center in Palm Springs for a couple of days since Saturday. And then today he died in the coroner putting his time of death around 1 o'clock this morning. But there's no indication of any wrongdoing by Elway. It appears that this was a bad accident. We've reached out to Elway's reps and Sperbeck's companies, but they aren't responding to offer any more, to offer their statements on his passing. But, even if, and we don't know what was involved here, but let's just say, being that Stagecoach was going on and they were going to and from parties, that if alcohol were involved, that it wouldn't be regular vehicle laws because they were in a golf cart. They were on a golf course at the club. And, it's like they sell out of the booze carts at golf courses. So the laws are very different when it comes to drinking with a golf cart. But again, we don't know. This could have been where he just accelerated and Sperbeck was on the back. And we've all been there where all of a sudden you don't expect that the driver's going to accelerate and you lurch and maybe he fell off. Maybe he was standing on it or he had a medical emergency. We just don't know.
I think it's time for not just people who ride around in carts, but also golfers to wear helmets.
Everywhere they go.
On the golf course, yeah, because you can get hit by a golf ball in the head, and that could kill you instantly.
That's
Plus,
true.
you can have one of these rollover accidents. I don't know if you've ever played golf in your life, but anyone who's ever played golf and has taken a cart, you've had an accident. Either you've run into a tree, you've run into a sand dune or a sand pit. What do they call a sand?
The trap.
Sand trap.
Yeah.
Or you run into into
or
a
you
lake.
lean it too much to one side where you're like, I don't know about this hill we're on. Yeah.
I was and especially if you play early in the morning, 5:30, 6 a.m. when the grass is still wet and it's dewy and it slides around. Everybody's had these accidents. Everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it's just an accident. But I will say the internet is sort of buzzing because it's very hard to find a picture of Jeff Sperbeck and Elway together where they're not holding wine glasses. They're in the wine business.
They did have the wine company, and they got in together. We did talk to a couple of people who knew them, who are big names in wine in Northern California, and they say that they were great to work with, and they got into it. But you're right. I mean, that's going to be a question of when there is an accident involving a golf cart and it's fatal, of how far did it go, and was alcohol involved? And at this point, Riverside County, the sheriff's office is saying they don't know anything yet, that it's still too early. But it would seem that there either was not a suspicion of that in the early moments of this because law enforcement wasn't called, or the decision was made not to call law enforcement. We don't know. And it's not like they're going to be able to breathalyze anybody 2 days later. So that may never be proven.
But, if you go to Elway's Twitter, I was on his Twitter, and he tweets like
3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago. Guys, like me with social media. But it's going to be very difficult for him to be the face of that wine company still.
Yeah.
After something like this happens.
Yeah, especially depending on which way the investigation goes. But I was talking to an old boss of mine out in Colorado today, and she said, even he, and yes, his name is still on restaurants out there and on car dealerships, but he's really pulled back from the public compared to even a few years ago when he was just everywhere on all the commercials in Denver. And he was a superstar. He's still well respected in Denver, but he's not quite the public figure that he used to be. So he's been living a more quiet life, and we know he lives in the La Quinta area, and the Madison Club is a lot of very big names, very exclusive community there, right, and club there, but spending a lot of his time around Palm Springs.
Hey, do you have an assignment director or assignment editor? You have a news director there?
Yeah.
Is anybody on the on the Jordan Hudson story on how she got $8 million in a couple of weeks to buy 4 or 5 different homes.
Who is she?
She's Belichick's girlfriend.
Oh, the Belichick, the we don't answer that question woman?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I didn't know her last name.
Yeah.
It's a good question. Yeah, no, I saw that there were some statements. I wasn't following it today, but I saw some statements came out in that.
Yeah, she, shortly after they started dating, she had $8 million to buy 4 or 5 homes in
Pretty
Massachusetts.
amazing at 24, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
it was all self-made.
Well,
no question about it.
It's all purchased from a full-time student salary, and we know how large those are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pays a lot these days.
All right,
Especially if you go through the portal.
I'll call your news director. We'll get somebody on that. But it's a very sad story. I'm sure John.Elway is devastated.
Absolutely. And it seems like because we haven't seen any statements and nobody's been putting anything out, I'm sure they're going through a lot right now. So.
Yeah, that's horrible. But I appreciate you coming on.
You got it. Thanks,
All right, thanks, man. Alex Stone with ABC News. That's devastating. Broncos quarterback. I think he won 2. Did he win 2 Super Bowls?
Yes.
Yeah,
Finished out his career with the 2.
And that's like one of the very few careers that ended on a high note in football.
He had, 2 or 3 losses in the Super Bowl prior to that, but he finished up on top.
And then he was also the general manager of the winning Super Bowl team as well. With
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, with Peyton Manning. So that guy lived up until last weekend a very charmed life. And now that's going to haunt him the rest of his life. It's going to be on social media everywhere you go. And a lot of people, that might be the second or third thing they think about John.Elway, after the Super Bowls and his great career and his car dealerships and all that stuff. It might be, that he was driving the golf cart when one of his best friends passed away. I can't imagine having to go through that kind of guilt. Just take whoever your best friend is and you're driving a golf cart and that person dies. I don't know how you go to work. I don't know how you get up in the morning. I don't know how you do anything. I don't know how you talk to the wife, and you sit down with her, and you have to work out something to help her out if she needed any help. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's got to be one of the worst things ever, to be responsible for your best friend's death. That has got to be a small group, man. A really small group. That's too bad. That's a horrible story.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
All right. We're going to do a crime segment here. We've been toying with 3 different ideas. There's 3 ideas that have risen to the top. Okay, so the first one is Ding Dong, Your Stuff Is Gone. That's the title, first title. The second one is Crime, It's Up, Bum, 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 Bum. And we'll use that song. That'll be cool. And then what's the other one, Belly? Oh, Crime Time. Yeah, like Neon Deion Sanders was Prime Time.
Crime Time.
This is Crime Time.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got we got a break-in a bakery. How much money is in the bakery business? Everything is $1, $2 max. A lot of people pay with credit cards, and yet there's a break-in a bakery.
Dude, we are talking about a very young group of suspects here that the Long Beach Police Department are currently looking for.
How old? 10, 9?
This bakery has been in business for 37 years down in Long Beach, and she says, remarkably, this is the first time that this happened to her, and she's very discouraged to see that the people that broke in are pretty young. This is actually a video from down the street or next door to her.
Okay, this bakery has avoided being broken into for 5 years, during COVID. And during the fires and during all the confusion over the last couple of months. For some reason, I think every business has been broken into or ripped off. Every single business. But this one avoided it until now.
The bakery where they tried to get into first. You see one of them throwing a rock, the other throwing a pipe wrench there as well, unsuccessfully breaking the windows. Then they come to her business. That's when they were able to shatter the front windows. Here's the thing, though. All the damage they did, they got away with nothing.
Nothing. Zero. Not even a donut. Nothing.
They got away with nothing.
Not even the donut holes. Nothing.
There's no cash for them to take. All they took were some of the pastries that were left in the display case. And you see all of them kind of file in here.
And those are day olds. Anything that's left in there overnight, that's a day old. It's not very good. It's not a great bake. It's a day old.
And I want you to really get a look at just how young some of these people are. They're all wearing masks in the video here. And you see.
How young? I mean, are they 3, 4? I don't know.
A couple of them, after they were only able to get some pastries and other donuts, perhaps
Well, they were pretty young. I will give you that. I mean, you can tell by the clues that they stole bakery goods. Donuts and Long Johns, brownies.
Is that a young man's game?
I think young people like baked goods more than older people. I think. Like when you would go to the bakery with your mom when you were a child, you got very excited.
Yeah.
Now, I'll take this, I'll take that. I'll take one of those and one of these. But man, when you were a kid, you went nuts in that bakery. Nuts.
Pastries and other donuts, perhaps. They go right back out the window. They just broke. You'll see as one of them here comes back in. Look how small and young that person looks. They go back in, they grab the wrench that they used to break the window, and they take off. Tonight I had a chance to talk to the business owner, the founder of Sweet Jill's Bakery, about...
Oh, this is Sweet Jill's. I didn't know that. Sweet Jill's is beautiful bakery. It's right there in Huntington, it's not Sunset Beach, Seal Beach. It's right there at Seal Beach. I used to go to Sweet Jill's all the time. Sweet Jill's is one of the greatest bakeries in the world. Everything is big. Big donuts, big cupcakes, big cookies. Sweet Jill's right there on Main Street in Seal Beach. Oh, now I'm personally offended by this. I can't believe there's never a time when there's not 900 people walking up and down the street on Main Street in Seal Beach. I cannot believe this bakery got robbed. If this is the same Sweet Jill's, now if this is one in Long Beach, I've never been to that one. But the one I'm talking about is the one on Main Street in Seal Beach. I don't think that one was robbed. I don't know how you can rob that one.
What she would say to these kids.
I want them to suffer consequences. Most definitely. I want them to suffer. I want their parents to suffer.
Doesn't sound so sweet. Jill sounds hot.
Jill's mad.
Yeah, Jill's mad. Jill's mad baker. The mad baker's hot.
Whatever way that should be, justice, it is a crime. I don't care their age. If that's the image they want to present themselves at such a young age, I fear for their future. Something has to stop.
That's right. I'm with this Sweet Jill.
Yeah, Jill says right there that didn't stop them from opening. They said they were sweeping the glass before 5:30. This happened at 4:08 in the morning. Before 5:30 came around, they were able to serve some of their customers. Because they've been in business for so long in Long Beach, many of their customers were very distraught about all of this. Jill told me that even some local school staff are going to try to look at the video to see if they recognize any of these very young suspects in that video. Meanwhile, the Long Beach Police Department has taken a burglary report, and they are actively trying to find these kids. But you look at that video, and they do look very young.
Yeah, they do look young lads and lasses. This is off 2nd Street, I believe. Yeah, Sweet Jill's is on 2nd Street near Livingston. And there's another one in Seal Beach. Or maybe they moved. Maybe they moved from Seal Beach to... Let's see if there's still one in Seal Beach. I'm focusing in now on Seal Beach. And let's see, yes, Sweet Jill's Bakery is still there in Seal Beach. So they have two... If it's the same Sweet Jill's, they have two. One in Long Beach on 2nd Street, and then another one on Main Street, right there about a block and a half from the ocean. So it's great. It's right near Taco Surf, a Mexican place I used to go to all the time. Clancy's is there. Belly, I don't know if you know this because you don't really get down to that area, but Seal Beach has 4 Irish bars on one block.
Really?
Yeah, they have, let me see if I can remember them all. The Hennessy's, which we went to all the time, Hennessy's Grill. Then they have Clancy's, O'Malley's.
That's great.
And then I can't remember the last one. But there were 4 Irish bars on one block in Seal Beach. And I can't remember the last one. O'Malley's, Hennessy's, Clancy's, and I can't remember the last one. I'm losing my mind. But if it's still there, yeah, Clancy's is still there. So I'm missing one. Clancy's. And so...
The Irisher by the Sea.
Oh, the Irisher. Yes.
Or Mulaney's. Is that one?
No, the Irisher. Yes, the Irisher. So there's 4 Irish bars on a single block there. Or like a block and a half. I think it's one full block. And they're great. They're fantastic. When I used to live in Seal Beach, I would go every night to one of those bars. And it was a cool deal. It's a cool hang.
Yeah, they're probably all packed, too.
Yeah, they were all packed. All of them were 5 deep at the bar. All of them. All right, when we come back, I think we're talking to Monks. We got Monks.
You got Monks.
Yeah, and LAPD is not happy about the potential cuts in staffing. So we'll talk to Monks and see what he's got going on. You got Monks, you got Conway.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com, featuring Annabay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Annabay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slipcovers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
You got Monks. He's here. How you, bub?
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Nice to see you.
Michael Monks, you and I, after we talk about LAPD, have one thing in common. This is a big Saturday coming up.
It is indeed.
Kentucky Derby.
Big race.
How far did you live from Churchill down?
When I was a child, I lived in Louisville from the time I was born till I was 12 years old. I grew up right around the corner.
Wow.
My school... holy name was a stone's throw.
Isn't that a big parking lot for the Derby? I know a lot of people park there.
Oh, you could make a killing selling your yard.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have a tiny yard. You can get one car in there. You're taking that $25-$50.
Oh, yeah, easily, yeah. And there's so many private jets that come into Louisville. They come on the back. They land on the backstretch. There's an airfield in the backstretch there. And they land, and then they have to take off because there's not enough room for all those private jets. So they go to Indianapolis, Chicago, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and that's where they have to sit for 3 days and then come back and pick up their owners.
It's a mess. I mean, it's an absolute mess. Louisville is a pretty good-sized city. It's not a mega city like L.A. is. It's a good-sized city, but that is one day where everybody and their mother is in town, and it's just not big enough.
It's great. It really is great. And I love the inclement weather, when it's like pouring. Out here, if there is even a threat of, like, if they see a rain cloud, they'll shut Santa Anita down for, 8
weeks. They don't do the sloppy track
here? Very rarely.
Oh, I love a sloppy track,
Sloppy's the best. They put on those, those cleats on these horses.
Make them earn it.
They get rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the jocks, have the 6 pair of goggles, and they keep flipping them down as they get all muddy.
Yeah. Look, people get so upset about the horses and the way they're... You know what this horse gets to do for the rest of his life after this race?
That's right. If he's good and intact still.
Even if he's kind of middle of the pack.
Right.
This guy's getting laid for the rest of his life for big dollars.
Twice a day. Twice a day.
I mean, when you run through the racing farm, even at a tiny track somewhere in the middle of America, and you're looking, and they always tell you who the parents are of these horses, and you'll see horses, and you're like, man, some of these horses are producing scrubs, of course, but that's how many sons and daughters they've got out there.
But what's remarkable is how quickly you see a winner of the Kentucky Derby, then a parent of a contender, like 3-4 years later.
They don't wait at all.
Yeah, they get rolling.
No, they don't wait to get into a career or anything. It's just like straight into banging.
I don't know how deep you go into horse racing, but every horse's birthday is January 1st.
Is it?
Yeah. So if a horse is born on January 2nd, it doesn't turn a year old until January 1st of next year. But if it's born on December 30th, it turns a year old 2 days later.
Oh, that sounds like a scam.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want to go with artificial insemination because that could really produce a lot of shaky deals. And so you'll see everybody produces horses and tries to get them born between January 1st and March 1st. That's the sweet spot. Because then they're not a year old until next year.
Wouldn't it be fun to own one of these prestigious horses?
Oh, my God. It would be great.
Yeah, I'd love that. That's a dream.
Yeah, it would be awesome. All right, LAPD doesn't look like they can afford a horse.
No, in fact, the whole city of LA should be placing some long shot bets to see if they can get a big payout on Saturday because they're broke. And you're going to be hauling me in for the next 2 weeks as various department heads come to city council and make their case as the mayor has proposed these massive cuts, big time layoffs. Now, it was of note that among the layoffs, the mayor is not laying off police officers. But the police department itself is the hardest hit with layoffs. We're talking more than 400 civilian roles. And when you think, okay, what does that mean? Receptionist? Does that mean somebody's holding the door open for somebody? Not exactly. Here's what Chief Jim McDonnell had to say at City Council Budget Committee today.
The mayor's proposed budget includes a staggering reduction of 403 civilian positions, representing 15.2% of our civilian workforce. These are not faceless numbers. They're men and women who've devoted their lives to public service, often behind the scenes with specialized skills, ensuring that our officers have the tools, data, and operational support they need to keep our city safe. Their work is essential, and their loss is not just a human one, but one that will be felt by every neighborhood in our city.
Does he sound like 1952 New York cop going after Little Italy?
I want to hate on the chief, and I said this in the newsroom today. I was like, this guy's lived in LA for 45 years, and he still sounds like an extra from Good Will Hunting. What's the deal?
I know.
It doesn't go away.
It's such a great accent.
But what does it mean for neighborhoods to feel? Every neighborhood, he says, will feel this. Well, here's what he means. He's talking about the guys who do the DNA ballistics analysis, and a lot of that might involve serious crimes like rape. And he says
the forensic guys.
The forensic guys. Some of the non-officers that you will see on shows like CSI.
Right. So do they have to pull officers off the street to fill those?
Well, they're going to have a hard time doing that too, and I'll get to that. Because what he is saying, when you get rid of those guys, you're delaying justice. It will take longer to process criminal evidence. He says vehicle mechanics are on the chopping block here, and so the fleet could potentially be damaged. He says they might have to shut down facilities, jails, in order to meet these demands. But to your point about pulling in the sworn officers, the department has also got a budget recommendation of $36 million less in overtime costs. So we want you to spend much less in overtime. And he says, look, overtime might sound like a luxury, but it isn't. It is a necessity. And if we take that much overtime away, we will not be able to have these specialized deployments at Venice Beach, at MacArthur Park, which he says we're making progress cleaning up, the RV task force, the homeless RVs, the guys that go out and check on that stuff. Those are the areas that will see less activity if they're not able to use overtime to pay those officers.
I understand people like John Colbelt who constantly goes after the city, and rightfully so. I understand why he and Deborah live in the city. They've been living there for 30 or 40 years. But if you're a young couple and you've got a baby or two children, I would think twice about moving in the city of LA. I mean, it's not going the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly a question one would have to ask.
Yes.
And as goes LA, though, so goes the region.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, you probably have neighbors here in Burbank that are here because of something that happened in Los Angeles.
That's right.
It might be a job. It might be Hollywood.
Yep.
It might be something like that. But they live in Burbank. They live in Glendale. They live in Pasadena because of Los Angeles.
And it's a death spiral. And we're in it.
And you think it's not going to pull down Burbank. You got another thing coming, mister.
Well, I don't think it's
going to pack those bags.
I think it's the opposite. I think there's a lot of people that are going to be moving to small communities like Glendale, Culver City, San Fernando, Burbank, where they don't have these kind of budget difficulties. But who knows? It might be wrong. But I don't know how LA gets out of this. I don't know.
They have to learn how to do more with less. And frankly, if I may,
and a lot of this money is stolen too. It's not just misappropriated and misused. It's stolen money.
I have not confirmed that, so I'm not saying that. That's Tim Conway Jr.
Well, that's John Colbelt that said
John Colbelt loves to say that while I'm sitting here freezing in my seat like, okay, that's Colbelt. Let the attorneys see that's not me.
Dude.
But the department, the police department, they've got 1,500 fewer officers than they want. But they still get all of the money budgeted as if they had as many officers as they wanted.
At some
point, you're going to have to ask this police department, what's your real strategy? You got to pivot. It's not working. Your recruitment strategy is not working. All the excuses, it doesn't matter. How are you going to fill those ranks? And if you cannot, we've got to stop budgeting for this.
They're going to claw back that money. Oh, it's horrible. Buddy, I appreciate you coming in and essing all over the city.
Always a pleasure.
All right, you got Monk Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m.
Yeah, I'm betting on journalism, so hopefully I'm coming in a winner on Saturday night for Michael Monk's reports.
Maybe Saturday night you'll have a pocket full of money.
Yeah.
People can meet you in the parking lot.
I'm doing the Exacta box, journalism, and American Promise.
What is that going to pay, $8?
Yeah. It's going to pay a lot in pride.
All right, Michael Monk's The Chalk Better. That's the name of his show on Saturday night.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
It is the Conway Show. John Elway has released a statement regarding the death of his agent and one of his best friends. The statement from John Elway. If you're just tuning in, you missed the story. On Saturday, John Elway was with his buddy Jeff Sperbeck and both of their wives, and I think some of the kids were there as well. And they were on a golf cart. Jeff Sperbeck fell out of the back of the golf cart, hit his head, and he was put on life support. And this morning at 1 o'clock, they pulled the plug and he passed away. So John Elway said, I'm absolutely devastated by the I'm absolutely devastated and heartbroken by the passing of my close friend, business partner, and agent, Jeff Sperbeck. There are no words to truly express the profound sadness I feel with the sudden loss of somebody who has meant so much to me. My heart and deepest sympathies go out to his wife, Corey, his children, Carly, Sam, and Jackson, and everyone who knew him and loved him. Jeff will be deeply missed for the loyalty, wisdom, friendship, and love he brought into my life and the lives of so many others. And it's a very, very sad story. John Elway's a really good guy. Belly, did you ever meet John Elway? I know you worked in sports.
Yeah, I've met
in
him.
Denver.
I've met him a few times. I mean, it was just short.
Yeah,
brief.
I never met him, but he played football for Granada Hills. I went to Birmingham, and I think he was a senior when I was a freshman. And I remember he came to Birmingham. He came to our high school, and a friend of mine, a guy named Jerry Gettleson, was a writer for the Birmingham newspaper, and he says, you got to come to Friday night's game and watch this kid John Elway play. I said, oh, okay. All right. So I went to the game. I watched John Elway play football, and I think he passed for 700 yards. It was unbelievable. He had these two huge, tall receivers that would just take off and run down the field, and he'd throw the ball 50 yards in the air. He was considered the best quarterback in America while he was in high school. The best quarterback in America, better than any college or any pro quarterback, while he was a senior in high school.
He was also drafted to the MLB.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, just a physically huge guy, too. Man, he just dominated in high school. Unbelievable. What do you think let's do a quick whip around, Steffush here. What do you think John Elway made his entire career, not as a manager, but as a player in the National Football League?
Just an NFL player.
Just an NFL player.
All right.
I added up his salary, his annual salaries. What do you think he made throughout his career just as a player? Steffush, let's start with you, bub. Oh, no. That's not a good sign.
$8 million.
All right. Angel.
$75 million.
$75 million. All right. Bellio.
125.
Okay. Crozier.
It's from an older era. I'm going to say $40 million.
$40 million. Is anyone else with us today?
Nope,
Or is
that's
that
it.
Crozier nailed it. $45 million.
Wow.
God, I thought
I was being generous.
Wow, isn't that wild?
I thought it was going to be like 20.
Do you know that Steph Curry makes more than that in one season?
Yeah.
Steph Curry makes $55 million a year. So he makes more in 81% of a season than John Elway made in his entire career. He only has to play 66 games, and he makes that kind of money.
Yeesh.
Shohei Ohtani makes $70 million a year. So he only has for every 100 games that Shohei Ohtani plays, he makes $45 million. $45 million for every 100 games. He gets a lot of money.
How much you get for 100 shows?
I'd have to work that out.
Had a couple zeros in there?
Yeah, I would say I worked it out. I think I'm making like $38 an hour.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot better than I thought.
Give it to me at some point.
A lot better than I thought growing up. In hockey, the number one, I guess the highest paid athlete, not you guessed, Tim, it is. Okay. Austin Matthews with the Maple Leafs, he makes $13 million a year.
No.
So
Never thought you'd hear that about a hockey player.
I know, $13 million, man. I thought it was
How
more
much
than that.
was Gretzky making like at his peak here when he came to L.A.?
Ooh, I would say...
I remember that was a big number, a famous number at the time.
Yeah, I think it was a couple million.
Yeah.
I don't think
That's
it was
what I
a
thought.
lot.
I remember like 5 million or something.
I don't even think it was 5.
Yeah, that would have been.
I got to look that up, but I think it's less than 5. I think he's the first guy that broke the million.
Oh.
You know? So, but that is crazy that John Elway made $45 million in his entire career. Let's look that up. Let's see what Gretzky got. G-R-E-T. Let's see what he got. Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, he made $3 million a year. Gretzky's salary peaked during the 91-92 season with Los Angeles Kings. $3 million a year. Steph Curry makes that in a long week.
Oh.
That is wild. Sorry, Jay Leno, but it is wild. I can use that here. Gretzky's total career earnings, including salary and endorsements, was $96 million. $46 million. So Wayne Gretzky made exactly as much as John Elway in salary. And Wayne Gretzky changed the game of hockey. I guess John Elway had a pretty big impact as well. But man, it's amazing what they pay these guys nowadays. $55 million for Steph Curry, $70 million for Ohtani. 100 games, he made what John Elway made in his entire career. That is wild. Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
This Labor Day, say goodbye to spills, stains, and overpriced furniture with WashableSofas.com. Featuring Anna Bay, the only machine washable sofa inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly pricing. Sofas start at just $6.99, making it the perfect time to upgrade your space. Anna Bay's pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and interchangeable slip covers are made with high-performance fabric built for real life. You'll love the cloud-like comfort of hypoallergenic, high-resilience foam that never needs fluffing, and a durable steel frame that stands the test of time. With modular pieces, you can rearrange anytime. It's a sofa that adapts to your life. Now through Labor Day, get up to 60% off site-wide at WashableSofas.com. Every order comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping, no restocking fees, every penny back. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.